Now you got to do it. Live from New York. It's the show. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day for some of us. It's first things first today. Brew, who should be more embarrassed? Our friend here who called 20-0, got a tattoo, said they were going to be a dynasty, said, Patrick Mahomes averages 38 points, there's zero chance, 5-0, 19 touchdowns, 1 interception, or Patrick Mahomes? Loves it. He's loving it.
Our friend. And look, Nick.
What?
Nick.
Yes.
As you know, and as you know, Wiles.
Yeah, I know.
I've been in this game a long time.
Facts.
I've been in this game since you were sleeping in Spider-Man underoos and onesies and whatever you were sleeping in when you were 8 years old. I have sat across the table from all of the great hot take and debate artists out there at this network and the other one, all of them.
All two.
This may take the cake, my man. This may be the worst prediction. I've even made a bad prediction or maybe one bad prediction in myself. But this may take the cake. 20-0?
It wasn't great.
How about 1-0? Can we get to 1-0? Huh? Never a doubt?
It's just.
How about never a chance?
Oh, well, that's a little much.
No Kelsey, no problem? How about no Kelsey? No offense. Nick, I do not, from this moment on, I do not want to hear another joke about the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, you can't make this about you.
About the LA Clippers.
No, this is.
Adam, Jimmy Garoppolo, Russell Wilson. No. It's over. You have lost that right. I can't with you, Wiles. Just go. I can't with you, man. Go.
Well,
I'm done.
Do I go? No, you're not. Don't go yet. I felt. I know he's upset with you.
Well, I don't know why.
I felt disappointed because I felt lied to.
What lied to?
As you know, I was a fan of the greatest dynasty in all sports. I said, you know what? The guy's made some solid points. It's like rooting against Jordan in the 90s. Why don't I treat the Patriots like my first son and treat the Chiefs like my second son? I'm thinking about going back. You told me it wouldn't care about Kelsey. It wouldn't be a big deal. Oh, yeah? Here's the final numbers on what happened. 45.5%. Look at that bottom line. Completion percent, career low. Oh. Because I tried to be I also lost $20 on the game because I followed your stupid tweet, which has won me several dollars in the past, but last night it backfired. I did have Dusty try to because I tried to be the silver lining guy, You're mean, and Broussard's all facts, so I tried to be the nice guy. Tried to salvage your 20-0 prediction. Dustman, can you help us out there? Never a doubt, Chiefs, 20-21. But that's close. The person I should have listened to all along was the only person that was truly right on this program. We can introduce him now if we have a chance. It's a special guest, the guy who actually called.
We're bringing
who actually called the game. Yeah! He called it. He was right.
He doesn't even have a chair.
I don't need a chair.
Have a chair, though.
I'm man Campbell, not Dan. This is what we do. I'm entering on the scene, and you mad about it. Let's go. Let's go.
As
you did call
a wise man. Oh, go ahead, Greg. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about because watching this game last night, you know what I would do? I would look at the game, watch a play be made, and then I would look at my phone to see if somebody was tweeting. Well, you know who was tweeting? Woo, your little finger, your little thumbs were happy last night. It was my guy, Nick Wright. Look at all these tweets. That wasn't a good one. It's early, and I'm not sure he can keep up with it all, but he's leading the league in passing, rushing, snaps, all the things. Look at all these tweets just rolling in. The Lions punting here is massive mistake.
It was.
Massive mistake. Yeah, you think so? Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Same exact thing that happened in the Super Bowl. Was it? Was it? I mean, was there any more? Look at this one. You can get the Chiefs.
That cost me $20, Greg.
You can get the
Cost you
Chiefs at
20.
minus
Yeah.
1.5.
That's a lot for me.
If you jump on it now.
Yeah, still a good bet. I still like that bet.
Look, you want to know what happened last night?
Well, a fluke?
No, fluke. Dan Campbell and the Lions are what happened last night, and I tried to tell you. I'm not even just coming at you, even though this feels like it's just you.
It
was
does.
you too.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
It was you too.
Thank you. It was everybody.
It was all
These
about 20,
jackals.
right?
You know what?
About 20,
As a wise man once said, it's my turn. Okay? I am going to go ahead and respond because I know America today wants to hear my shame and embarrassment. I know they do.
Yeah.
And listen,
right.
Nick Wright, the prognosticator, 2023 is not going the way 2022 went. As you know, Wilds,
Yeah.
I was named by Reuters most accurate sports pundit of
know if that
2022.
was true.
Google it. And then 2023 started great. Started great. You have a massive fly on
Well,
your
that's my friend.
jacket.
That's my friend. If you-
2023 started outstanding, Wilds. Got almost the entire NFL playoff bracket. Correct? The beginning of the NBA playoffs were going great. And then it went awry. Conference finals, NBA finals. And now, as Bruce said, I might have on my resume the single worst pundit prediction
You think?
You do.
in sports television history. I guaranteed a team would go 20-0, and they didn't manage 1-0. And that, I have to wear that literally for the rest of my life. So Nick Wright, the pundit, is ensconced in shame. Nick Wright, the husband, not doing great, to be honest. I know this will shock you guys. My lovely wife, who all of you know, wasn't a huge fan of the tattoo before the Chiefs lost. This morning, maybe even less of one. Nick Wright, the father, trying to set a good example. Don't be impulsive. Think about consequences of your actions. My kid this morning, her TikTok was inundated with friends of hers sending them clips of the world making fun of me. So all those versions of me feel sick today. The saving grace is this. Nick Wright, the Chiefs fan, might feel better than I did yesterday.
Okay, here we go.
Nick Wright, the
Now
Chiefs
we're back
fan,
on track.
that is not as wrapped up in 20-0, is wrapped up in one thing and one thing only. The dynasty rolling on. You know what that Nick Wright saw? That, you know what? This absolutely not only can be, but will be a top 10 defense. Greg's beloved Detroit Lions scored 1 touchdown all night on a drive that didn't involve a fake punt and 2 touchdowns all night on offense. That this defense that had all the young players, that was the genesis of the 20-0, was it was going to be a good defense. Will be the best of the Mahomes era. And that's once, even maybe before they get Chris Jones back, certainly once they do. But most importantly, Wilds does not say many wise things on this show. However, a few months ago, when I was flirting with 20-0, you said something that I believe to be correct.
Oh.
That's not what the Chiefs need. They don't need the whole world
This is true.
kneeling at their feet. They need doubters. They need haters. They need a chip on their shoulder. And so while, yes, it is unfortunate for me in my professional career that I have the worst prediction ever on my resume, for the Chiefs, the fact that now they once again are going to be able to play the people don't believe in us card. They're going to once again be able to play the people are ready to move on from us card. That plus the fact that that defense, you all must admit, played better than you thought it would, allowing 14 points against a high-flying offense.
True.
Nick Wright, the Chiefs fan, I'll tell you this much. If 20-0 were still technically possible, I think I'd believe in it. I think I would. I don't know that it is.
Back to square one.
19-1. 19-1. Let me see if that can get tattooed on my arm.
Kadarius Toney. Let's dig into the game. Kadarius Toney.
Are you blaming this on Kadarius Toney?
Absolutely not. Obviously, they win if he plays better. In fact, even with the pick 6, if he just catches the 1st and 10 pass after the Chiefs stopped him on 4th down, they're already in field goal range. But I am not blaming it on Kadarius Toney because I understand, A, that of the 3 biggest plays in the Super Bowl last year, Toney made one of them, and I'm not even talking about the walk-in touchdown. The punt return might have been the third biggest play of the entire Super Bowl, other than the Mahomes scramble and the Bolton scoop and score. He did that.
Super Bowl record.
He also fought his way to be back ready for this game after missing all of camp. And listen, he had a miserable game. He had as bad of a game as you can have. But I'm not going to kill a guy who probably should have not been playing for getting himself as ready as he could with no preseason, no training camp. And where I will give Patrick massive credit is not just with his post-game commentary, but his in-game actions. Now, maybe it cost the Chiefs, but he didn't give up on it. And we have seen plenty of great quarterbacks that if a guy has 1 drop, let alone 2 drops, the second of which is a pick 6 on your record, be like, nope, not going to anymore. Patrick continued to show faith in him. I believe in Toney as a talent. So, yeah, I mean, listen, is he the biggest reason they lost? I suppose, but I'm not blaming him for the loss, if that makes sense.
Yeah, his miscues proved to be the most deadly of them all. Like when you talk about the drop that turns into an interception and a pick 6, and then you talked about the last drop he had when he turns that first down after the defense, gets the stop on 4th and 2, turn around and they're 1 completion and you're automatically in field goal range and you don't come up with the catch. It was, look, if I'm in that locker room and I get how everyone always talks about, you know, we win as a team, we lose as a team. But my man.
What?
You lost that game for us.
Oh,
like that's what's going on in the locker room. Like Kadarius Toney knows. Look, if I played better, I blew this one.
Yeah,
I blew it. Now there are other things that happened that could have helped them win that game, but they didn't. And the fact that is what he has to go home with. Yes, it is the worst feeling ever. I thought Patrick Mahomes did a remarkable job of going right back to him, continuing to keep him involved, but he just didn't answer the bell. And I said yesterday, those guys in that receiving corps room were under duress.
Yeah.
They didn't listen.
You also told us yesterday that Sky Moore was going to be great.
And he didn't listen.
I mean, yeah. The next great Western Michigan receiver will be the first one. I'll tell you that much right now. I can't believe it. Go ahead.
Can't win with him.
Can't win with him.
Can't win with him.
I mean, everything you guys said about Kadarius is right. And you showed the highlight from the Super Bowl, but guess what he wasn't doing? Catching it. He was catching a punt, but not I want to see this dude. I figured he could catch in college and up to the NFL, but he was horrible last night. I'm not going to pile on. You guys did a good job of pointing it out. There were other problems, though. I thought that the Chiefs got manhandled on the front lines. And I thought by the end of the game, Detroit's physicality, and this is where they missed Chris Jones. They were running all over the Chiefs in the fourth quarter. They ran for 54 yards in the fourth quarter. Look at this touchdown run. That's just guys being weary. I mean, they were having their way. They had the ball for 9.5 minutes, actually 9 minutes, 42 seconds in the fourth quarter. All right, so I thought physically they beat you guys up. You had 1 sack. Now, they didn't have any, so I can credit you for that. But you guys had 1 sack. You mentioned it last year, or mentioned it this week. Last year, y'all were second in the league in sacks. Last night, without Chris Jones, they had 1 sack. And everybody might point to Kadarius Toney, the ball that went through his hands, the pick 6, okay? This one, you know, a lot of people might just say that was the game. I could argue that just kind of evened things up. Because, again, with the physicality, if you this fumble, if you go to the second quarter,
that's true.
The Lions were marching, again, beating the Chiefs up front.
They were.
11 plays, 61 yards, a 6.5-minute drive. And on this short pass to Marvin Jones Jr., he fumbles. So they may have scored right there. At least they were going to get a field goal. They may have gotten a touchdown.
One of those turnovers is a forced turnover and the other is not? That those are not like the Jalen Hurts turnover in the Super Bowl was not a forced turnover.
Right.
That was, and to me, I put that in the same bucket as the Kadarius Toney play. That play the Chiefs made was a forced turnover.
If I'm on Detroit's side, that's something we can't do. We cannot, especially against a team like the Chiefs.
Well, sure.
We're not dropping the ball in the red zone. So I just think that their physical play really ate you guys up. And I'll go here too. Last thing.
They scored 14 points.
I know, but still, they wore you guys down. It was clear in the fourth quarter.
In the
that
fourth
up
quarter,
front,
they couldn't
the
pick up
Chiefs
the
were
4th and 2.
They had the ball for 9.5 minutes.
Right, I understand.
They ran for 54 yards.
They had a 4th and 2 to not ice the game, but come close to it. They couldn't pick it up. And on the very next play, the play Greg's talking about, the Chiefs have a receiver running wide open in field goal range. The Lions lose. And that's not
that play is not what I'm talking about. The physical play up front. 4th and 2 is never easy to get. So I just think that even I'm gonna point out the coaching staff, the fake punt. Okay,
I give him credit for that.
Campbell did a great job, but you know what? Since he's been coaching the team, which is barely 2 years, they have 8 fake punt attempts. That's 5 more than the next nearest team.
They're going.
And they've made 7. My point is,
punt it within the 20 though.
my point is, why weren't the Chiefs ready for that?
Well, hold on, Brew.
They've done it. They've done it.
Nobody's ready for and Brew, that is, hold on
No,
a second.
be
I'm
ready.
not, Brew, if this is 100% you play in the result. Because if that goes the other way, you are killing Dan Campbell. You are telling him, be conservative.
Is Campbell does that, though.
Brew, and you
He's
are
done it
killing
way
him
more
if it
than anybody
doesn't work.
else in the league. I'm just saying,
It's
if
only
I'm
had
the
to work
Chiefs,
once.
if I'm the Chiefs coaching staff, I'm like, be ready. These guys are unpredictable. He's done this way more than anybody else in the
Staley
league.
does that,
That's
you're
all I'm
calling
saying.
for him to be fired.
Well,
True.
it
Even your
doesn't
special
work when
teams coach is
Staley
like,
does.
It doesn't work.
Turning our attention to the Lions, Greg's Lions, late in the game, the Chiefs opted to go for it on 4th and 20, and then 4th and 25 after the false start finally got called. C.J. Gardner-Johnson didn't appreciate it. No respect. You're going for it on 4th and 20. You've got no respect for us. That's not going against the players. It's the coordinator not thinking we're going to be prepared in the situation.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. I mean, listen, shocker, C.J. Gardner-Johnson has something to say. But the thing is, that Lions secondary on that drive was leaving guys wide open every play. Kadarius Toney was wide open. He dropped it. The next play almost got him in field goal range. Sky Moore was his biggest play of the night. It gets called back with a holding penalty. Yep. They went for that 4th and 25, not out of disrespect for the Lions, but because of time, score, situation, and their belief that if we punt, we might not be getting the ball back. Also, it should be noted, they left that was open too.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that was a perfect pass, and it would have been a tough catch, but it hit Sky Moore directly in the hands.
Right.
And so I just don't buy like this idea that this was disrespectful. No, it wasn't. Like, and I don't think it's the fake punt was disrespectful, but it was more outside of the flow of the game than that. Like, I understand it's 4th and 25, but it's 4th and 25 at the 2-minute warning. So that's why they went for it. It wasn't out of disrespect for the defense, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
I'm with C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Really?
Really? Absolutely. For me, it is disrespectful, and he should take disrespect. Like, when you look at what he did, he was able to do in that game, his handprint was all over that game. Even on that drive, the 2nd and 20, Sky Moore actually makes the catch.
Yes.
And he sticks his hand in there and knocks it out. So it appears
on the 2nd and 20.
on that same very drive. Yeah. So I get how you're backed up and you're looking at, does the team have all that? Wait, they do have all their timeouts. 4th and 20, false start, which it should have been being called on Jawan Taylor all game.
That's crazy.
On that, watch Lane Johnson, Trent Williams, or Jawan Taylor last 4 years. Everyone's doing it.
It was ridiculous last night. However, the 4th and 25, I'm like, there's no way he's going for it right now because he got 3 timeouts in his pocket. You got Patrick Mahomes. Everything we see Patrick Mahomes do, 13 seconds against the Bills. That's all I need. That's enough time.
He has to get the ball.
I understand that, but the defense had just gotten a stop. 4th and 2. Put some trust in your defense.
Yeah, I'm with Nick on this one. I thought it wasn't disrespect. It was out of desperation. All right, like you said, I think that they were getting the best of the Chiefs up front. And I think Andy Reid saw that. There was a good chance they weren't going to get the ball back. Like I said, they had the ball for 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. They had rushed for 54 yards. That's more than 200 a game if over 4 quarters. So I think he saw his team was a bit spent up front. We don't have our main guy, Chris Jones. There's no guarantee we're going to get the ball back. And it was in Sky Moore's hands. It's a tough catch, but Greg Jennings would have made that catch.
You better believe it.
Maybe.
Greg Jennings would have made that catch.
Finally, it's been a rough day for you online. I don't know if you've been online.
Oh, shut up.
It's been a little rough.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions. I mean, this is not a fan account.
No.
This is just the Detroit Lions gives us a little bit of publicity, which I liked.
Good for us.
But that wasn't great for you. I mean, maybe any clout is good clout.
No, I'm not. Listen, unlike
perhaps.
you, who is, quote, walking around the office saying to anyone who will listen, I'm going to become Instagram famous.
Well, that's my new goal.
That is
I've already
Miles' new
conquered
goal, America,
television.
is to become, quote, Instagram famous. I think the Lions are trying to make me cower. And Dusty explains, like, oh, that's a meme from a video game. And then I don't even understand what the meme was. But they were making fun of me, is what I was told.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I sense that.
I figured
sense
that
the
part out,
context
but I didn't
clues.
understand why there was that guy in the hat. But everybody wants to know, was the tattoo real?
Yes.
And and you guys all know the tattoo is real. I'll show it to you again.
Okay, that's just a poorly done.
What?
That's
What?
just poorly
What's the
done.
problem?
That's poorly done.
What's
Not
poorly
even
done?
the same font.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? What, Greg? Greg's gonna. What is Greg trying to shame me?
His
this
arm's
is
gonna
body
look a
shaming.
lot better than
What are you
yours,
about
I
to
bet,
do
Nick.
here, Greg?
His forearm's going to look
My
a
mic is
little
down here, so I got to keep my
Exactly.
But you know what? I was so inspired by you.
Is this guy?
I was like, you know what? I never had a doubt either.
No,
in the
this
Lions,
son of a-
baby.
this-
There was never a doubt. So I went and got me one too,
Okay,
Nick.
all right.
You see it?
That is
Never a
not
doubt.
real.
That is it.
Huge
right there.
difference
That
between
is
the
locked.
four.
Oh, no. Yes, we know.
Forearm
We
shape.
know that Greg
That looks
Jennings
like Nick's
is in
thigh.
slightly better
forearm looks
shape
like
than
Nick's
me.
thigh.
Okay.
The Cowboys
That was
Giants
uncalled.
prediction you need to hear next on FS1.
Dusty's out there cackling, Bruce body shaming me. Some intern on the Lions is mocking me with memes from
Not intern,
Metal Gear
that's the
Solid.
main account.
This whole thing is so stupid.
That was good, Greg.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.